Hi students, welcome to session 2 of learning of the basics of partnership accounts. In the previous session, we have dealt the concept of partnership, what is partnership act, what are the provisions of partnership act will apply to the partnership accounts, and what is about the partnership deed, the scenario when the partnership deed is silent or absent. Then the concept of profit sharing ratio and situations where the profit sharing ratio can be changed, and the effect of profit sharing ratio, changes in profit sharing ratio to the partner's status. We are all these aspects are discussed in the previous session. Today we will deal with certain illustrations with regard to changes in profit sharing ratio, that is the computation of new profit sharing ratio, gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. Okay, these aspects will be covered under the process of admission, retirement, death, etc. So today we will deal with certain problems, certain initial aspects of admission, initial aspects of retirement, initial aspects of death, etc. Talking about the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio, in the previous class I have taught what is sacrifice, what is gain. When there is a change in profit sharing ratio, one partner's status will be sacrificed. His share in the future profit will be sacrificed, and the ratio at which he sacrifices future profit is called sacrificing ratio, and the other partner will gain, and the ratio at which he gains in the future profits is called as gaining ratio. And while studying the computation of new profit sharing ratio, you also deal with the concept of computation of gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. So let us move on. I will begin with the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio, and gradually I will move into the computation of new profit sharing ratio. So students, be with your calculator, book, pen, and while doing the problems, I will explain a certain category of problem. Repeat the same type of problem once again, because to have a conceptual understanding. In that way, every problem will be repeated 1 or 2 times, so that we can have a clarity of these aspects towards the end of our session. So we will begin with gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. So let us start with example 1, illustration 1. See, there are existing partners A, B and C, and their existing profit sharing ratio is 5:3:2. That means 5 by 10, 3 by 10, 2 by 10. Okay, and the existing partners decided to change their profit sharing ratio as 3:2:3. We already discussed in the previous class. They can change their profit sharing ratio based on the business conditions. Okay, so the future ratio they have decided 3 by 8, 2 by 8 and 3 by 8. And you are required to compute the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. So at the beginning of my first session, I already explained how to deal with the problem. You should critically analyze, examine the content of the problem in order to achieve the objective of the problem. So while analyzing, we have seen 5 by 10, 3 by 10, 2 by 10 is the previous ratio, the existing ratio, and the future ratio is decided as 3 by 8, 2 by 8 and 3 by 8. Okay, so let us see what is the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. So let us compare the old ratio with the new ratio. Okay, so for A, partner A, the old ratio is 5 by 10. 5 by 10, that means 50%. That means 50%. Then the new ratio is 3 by 8. 3 by 8. Since it is 3 by 8, quite difficult to compute the percentage. Okay, so 3 by 8. So previously 5 by 10, now 3 by 8. When we compare, we should analyze whether there is loss or gain. Whether there is loss or gain. Okay, so what we should do? In order to compare, the denominator should be same. In order to compare, the denominator should be same. So 3 by 8. You should convert the 8 into Okay, so how you can convert that? Both 3 and 8 should be multiplied. How much? 1.25 into 1.25. Then we will get how much? 3.75 by 10. 3.75 by 10. That means previously it was 5 by 10 for A. Now the new ratio is arrived at 3.75 by 10. That means he has sacrificed 1.25 by 10. 1.25 by 10. He has sacrificed 1.25 by 10. That is what is called as sacrificing ratio. Okay. Then talking about the B status. B's previous ratio is 3 by 10. And the new ratio is decided as 2 by 8. So again, we should convert the denominator equal to 10. How will convert? Into multiply. 2 by 8 is multiplied by 1.25 into 1.25. So how much we will get? 2.5 divided to 10. That means the previous ratio was 3 by 10 and the new ratio was 2.5 by 10. He has sacrificed 0.5 by 10. 0.5 by 10. This is also sacrificing ratio. And the status of C. What is the status of C? C's old ratio was 2 by 10 and the new ratio is decided as 3 by 8. 3 by 8 means the same. How much we will get? 3.75 by 10, which means that previously 2 by 10 is increased to 3.75 by 10. That means there is a gain of 1.75 by 10. This is gaining ratio. So A and B has sacrificed. So what is the sacrificing ratio? 1.25 is 2.5. That is the sacrificing ratio. Okay, 1.25 is to 0.5. What is the gaining ratio? 1.75. If these sacrificing ratios are added, 1.25 plus 0.5, we will get 1.75. So what is the sacrificing ratio? Sacrificing ratio is equal to between A and B. Both A and B are sacrificed. How much? 1.25 is to 5. 0.5. 1.25 is to 0.5. When we multiply into 2, how much we have? 2.5 is to 1. That is the sacrificing ratio. 2.5 is to 1. The gaining ratio how much? 1.75. So this is all about the computation of sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio. So in order to understand the concept, what we have done, we have compared the old ratio with the new ratio. We have compared with the old ratio, compared the old ratio with the new ratio. If the old ratio is higher than the new ratio, then that partner has sacrificed his share in the future profits. If the old ratio is less than the new ratio, then that partner has gained in the share of the future profits. So how will we compute sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio? Compare the old ratio with the new ratio. So in order to put into a mathematical terms, sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. Students, please note down. In order to put into a mathematical formula, sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio, and gaining ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. The reverse of sacrificing ratio. Okay. So what is sacrificing ratio? Old ratio minus new ratio, and gaining ratio, new ratio minus old ratio. So repeating once again the concept for the purpose of conceptual understanding of computation of sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio. Compare the old ratio with the new ratio. If the old ratio is higher than the new ratio, then that partner has sacrificed his share in the future profits. If the reverse is the situation, that is the old ratio is less than the new ratio, then that partner has gained in the future profits, in the share in the future profits. So sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio, and gaining ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. This is the way we will compute the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. So let us move on to the example 2. So moving to the second illustration, second example, there are 4 partners A, B, C, D, and their existing profit sharing ratio is 2:1:1, and they have decided to change their existing ratio as 2:3:2:1. So again, what is the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio? So while analyzing the question, we will come across that the existing ratio is 2/6, 2/6, 1/6 and 1/6 respectively for A, B, C, D. Okay, and their new profit sharing ratio in the future profit is 2/8, 3/8, 2/8 and 1/8. So how should we compute the sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio? Compare the old ratio with the new ratio. So let us straight away move on to the solution of the illustration. Okay, so old ratio, new ratio and the computation. Okay, see A, B, C, D. Starting from A status, A's old ratio is 2/6. A's new ratio is decided as 2/8. See, we have to equalize the denominator, but 8 cannot be converted into 6, 6 cannot be converted into 8. Unlike the previous problem, 8 can be converted into 10. But here the situation is different. So how will we will deal with the situation? Multiply this 2 and 8 with 6. So we will get 12/48. 2 into 6, 8 into 6, and multiply this 2/6 using 8. So 2 into 8, 6 into 8, then we will get 16 divided to 48. So if here the denominator is equal now, so how will we arrive at the solution? 16/48 was the previous ratio, and now they decided to share 12/48. He has sacrificed 4/48. This is the sacrificing ratio. This is the sacrificing ratio. In the case of B, what is the situation? His previous ratio was 2/6. His current is, or the new ratio, decided to share the new ratio in terms of 3/8. Again, multiplied by 8. The old ratio we will get 16/48. Here, multiplied by 6, we will get 18/48. See, previously had shared 16/48, now increased to 18/48. That means he has gained 2/48, which is the gaining ratio. So B possesses the gaining aspect. Then about C, his previous ratio was 1/6 multiplied by 8. Then we will get 8/48. His new ratio was 2/8. New ratio is desired as 2/8 multiplied by 6. We will get 12 divided by 48. Again, previous ratio of C 8/48. New ratio 12/48. C has gained 4/48. Gaining ratio. Okay. Talking about D's position, D's old ratio was 1/6. That means 8/48. D's new ratio is desired as 1/8. That means 6/48. Then what is situation? D has lost or sacrificed 2/48. This is the sacrificing ratio. Okay, this is the sacrificing ratio. See, 4/48 sacrificed by A, 2/48 sacrificed by D. So totally 6 is sacrificed, and out of the 6, 2 is gained by B, and the remaining is 4 is gained by C. So this is the calculation of gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio for the example 2. In the first 2 examples, we dealt with the situation where the existing partners changing their existing profit sharing ratio. And now in the third illustration, we are dealing with a situation where a partner is newly admitted to the partnership business, and computation of the profit sharing, new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners, as well as the new partner. Okay, so let us analyze question number 3, example 3. There are two partners currently in the partnership business, R and M. They are sharing the profits and losses in the ratio of 7:3. That is 7/10, 3/10. Okay, then they admitted Mr. A for 3/7 share in the future profit. So the share of the new partner is already given. How much? 3/7 share, which is taken 2/7 from Mr. R and 1/7 from Mr. M. So how this 3/7 is arrived or taken by Mr. A? He took 2/7 from R and 1/7 from M. So compute the new profit sharing ratio of the partners and what is the sacrificing ratio. So in such a question, the first point to be analyzed in the case of admission and computation of new profit sharing ratio, the first question, repeating, in the case of admission and computation of new profit sharing ratio during the process of admission, the first point to be analyzed is the sacrificing ratio. The sacrificing ratio. I am repeating once again. Please, students, please note down. In the case of computation of new profit sharing ratio during the process of admission, the first point to be noted, the first point to be computed, the first point to be analyzed is the sacrificing ratio. Students, you should analyze whether the sacrificing ratio is given in the question. If not given in the question, it is to be computed first. So, if you analyze the question itself specifies what is sacrificed by R, what is sacrificed by M. R has sacrificed 2/7 of his share. His old share is 7/10. He has sacrificed 2/7. And M has sacrificed 1/7 of his share. His old share was 3/10. He has sacrificed 1/7 from 3/10. So the question itself speaks about the sacrificing ratio. So first of all, remember, in the case of computation of new profit sharing ratio, this is for the conceptual understanding. Students, please note down. Okay, in the process of computation of new profit sharing ratio in the case of admission, students, you should first analyze whether the sacrificing ratio is given in the question or not. If not given in the question, it should be computed initially. In this question, the sacrificing ratio is given. Okay, what is the sacrificing ratio? Computation of sacrificing ratio. For R, it is 2/7, and for M, it is 1/7, which means that out of 7/10, he has sacrificed 2/7, and the remaining part will be his new share. And out of 3/10, in the case of M, he has sacrificed 1/7, and the remaining part will be his new share. When these twos are added, we will get 3/7, which is the ratio of the new partner. So, in such a type of question, if the sacrificing ratio is given in the question itself, then it is very easy to compute the new profit sharing ratio of the partners. We can apply a formula which is studied in the previous two problems. Sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. Sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. So, what is the sacrificing ratio for R? For R, it is 2/7. That is equal to old ratio. What is old ratio? 7/10 minus, we should compute the new ratio. So, for R, what will be the new ratio now? New ratio is equal to 7/10 minus 2/7. Old ratio minus sacrificing ratio. Okay, clear? Then, to conclude the computation, 7/10, we should equalize the denominators. So 7/10 should be multiplied using this terms, using the content 7, and the 2/7 should be multiplied using the figure 10. So 7/10 into 7 minus 2/7 into 10 into 10. So what is the figure now? 7 into 7, 49. 49/70 minus 2 into 10. 20. 20 by 70. So what is the new figure? 29 by 70. 29 by 70. That is the new ratio of R. In the case of M, again old ratio. What is the sacrificing ratio? 1 by 7 is equal to old ratio 3 by 10 minus new ratio. Then how we will compute this? Using the same method, 3 by 10 minus 1 by 7. That means 21 by 70 is equal to, minus 10 by 70, then 11 by 70. 11 by 70. So what is the new ratio now? For R, we have arrived at 29 by 70. For M, we have arrived at 11 by 70. For A, already given in the question as 3 by 7, which means 30 by 70. So the new profit sharing ratio is 29 is to 11 is to 30. This is how we will compute the new profit sharing ratio when a new partner is admitted and the sacrificing ratio of existing partner is given in the question. So repeating the question once again for the conceptual understanding, students please note down the important contents. If the question specifies the sacrificing ratio, then it is easy to compute the new ratio of the existing partners. How we will arrive at? Using the method, using the concept, sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. In this way, we have arrived R share as 29 by 70, M share as 11 by 70, and A share is already given the question as 3 by 7, that is 30 by 70. So the new profit sharing ratio is 29 is to 11 is to 30. Moving to the fourth illustration, example 4. A and B, existing partners, sharing profits and losses in the ratio 7 is to 5. That is 7 by 12, 5 by 12. And they admitted C by giving 1/6 share in the future profits. And C has taken this 1/6 share from A, 1 by 24, and from B, 1 by 8. 1 by 8 means it is equal to 3 by 24. In order to equalize the denominators, 1 by 8 is equal to 3 by 24. So 1/6 share is taken by C from A. A has sacrificed 1 by 24th of his share from 7 by 12, and B has sacrificed 1 by 8th share from the share of 5 by 12 in the future profits. So how we will compute? Like the example 3, the sacrificing ratio of the existing partners is given in the question. What is sacrificing ratio? Sacrificing ratio is equal to 1 by 24 for A and for B 3 by 24. So apply the same formula. When the sacrificing ratio is given in the question, then sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. So for A, what is the sacrificing ratio? 1 by 24. That is equal to old ratio 7 by 12 minus new ratio. The new ratio is equal to 7 by 12 minus 1 by 24, which can be illustrated as 14 by 24 minus 1 by 24. 14 by 24 minus 1 by 24 is equal to 13 by 24. How this 14 by 24 is arrived at? 7 by 12 is multiplied by 2, because 12 can be converted into 24 using 2. So 7 into 2, 12 into 2. So 14 by 24. So A share in the future profits is 13 by 24. Talking about the B share, this is A, and B share sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. What is old ratio? 5 by 12. That means 5 by 12 means 10 by 24. 10 by 24 minus 3 by 24. Then what we will get? 7 by 24. So what is the new profit sharing ratio? A 13 by 24, B 7 by 24, C is already given the question 1 by 6, that is equal to 4 by 24. Then what is the new profit sharing ratio? 13 is to 7 is to 4. Okay, so this is the way we will compute sacrificing ratio, new profit sharing when the sacrificing ratio is given in the question in the case of admission. In the fifth illustration, we will deal with a new concept. First of all, let me explain the question. There are three partners, existing partners X, Y, Z, and sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. That is 5 by 10, 3 by 10, and 2 by 10. And they admitted A into the partnership, giving 1/5 share. And the question is asking to compute the new profit sharing ratio. So, what is the difference between this problem and the previous problem? Unlike in the previous problem, there is no specification with regard to which partner has sacrificed his share to contribute to the new partner. Here in the question itself says A is admitted with 1/5 share. So the question does not speak about from which partner A has taken the 1/5 share. In the previous two problems, the question clearly specified the sacrificing aspect of the partners. So in this situation, how we will compute the new profit sharing ratio? I already pointed out an important content for computation of profit sharing ratio in the case of admission. What is that? You should analyze whether the sacrificing ratio of the partners are given in the question, of existing partners are given in the question. In this question, the question does not explain the sacrificing ratio of the existing partners. So, how will you compute? Then we should apply an assumption. And mathematical concept for the computation of the new profit sharing ratio. Let us see this. Assume, students, let's assume the total share after admission of A. The total share of the firm after admission of A is 1. That is the total share of X, Y, Z, and A is 1. Out of 1, 1/5 share belongs to A. Out of 1, 1/5 share belongs to A. That means 1 minus 1 by 5. 1 minus 1 by 5 will be equal to the combined share of all other partners X, Y, Z. 1 minus 1 is the total share of all the partners minus 1 by 5. 1 by 5 is the profit sharing ratio of the new partner. If you deduct that 1 by 5 from the total share of 1, we will get the combined share of XYZ, which is equal to how much? 5 minus 1 divided to 5, that is equal to 4 by 5. 5 minus 1 divided to 5. How we arrived at 5 minus 1 divided to 5? Cross multiply this. 1 means 1 by 1. So 5 into 1, 5. 1 into 1 minus 1. Okay. So 1 into 5, 5. So 4 by 5. So the combined share of XYZ is 4 by 5 after the admission of A. That means let us make it clear the conceptual aspects. That means out of the old share of X, 5 by 10, he has sacrificed some part and the remaining part is 4/5 of 5 by 10. Once again, out of the 5 by 10 of the old share, the remaining part is 4/5 share. And out of the 3 by 10 of the old share of Y, the remaining part is 4/5. And out of the old share of Z 2 by 10, the remaining part is 4 by 5. Which means that X new profit sharing ratio is equal to 5 by 10 is the old share, out of which 4/5 part is the new share. 4/5 part means 5 by 10 multiplied by 4 by 5. Then we will get 20 by 50. We will get 20 by 50. Then Y is new profit sharing ratio. 3 by 10 into 4/5 part. We will get 12 by 50. Then Z share, new profit sharing ratio. 2 by 10 into 4 by 5. We will get 8 by 50. This is how we will compute if the sacrificing ratio of each partner is not given in the question. Compute the combined part of share after admission of new partner. Assume the total shares of the firm after admission is 1. Deduct from the part of share of the new partner, then we will get the combined share of the existing partners, which means that the old ratio into the combined share of the remaining partner or existing partners will be the new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners. So X new profit sharing ratio is old share into the combined part of the share in the profit into 4 by 5. So 20 by 50, 3 by 10 into 4 by 5, 12 by 50, 2 by 10 into 4 by 5, 8 by 50. So to conclude, what is the new profit sharing ratio after A's admission? For X, 20 by 50. For Y, 12 by 50. For Z, 8 by 50. And for A, it is 1 by 5, which means 10 by 50. So what is the new profit sharing ratio? 20 is to 12 is to 8 is to 10. This is the new profit sharing ratio of the partners after the admission of A. So what is the concept we learned here? If the sacrificing ratio is not given in the question, assume the total share of all the partners after admission is 1. Deduct the profit sharing ratio of the new partner, then we will get the combined share of the existing partner after admission, and the old share into combined share in the future profit is equal to the new share. So what is the formula? What is the formula? New profit sharing ratio is equal to old ratio into combined ratio. Old ratio into combined ratio. Okay, to conclude, new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners, if the sacrificing ratio is not given in the question, how we will compute? Old ratio into combined ratio of existing partners after the admission of the new partner. Continuing with the illustration for example 5, since the previous example is silent about the sacrificing ratio and we have already computed the new profit sharing ratio, let us analyze what will be the sacrificing ratio, because we already computed new profit sharing ratio, we already given in the question the old ratio. So let us compute what will be the sacrificing ratio. So let us see how we will calculate the sacrificing ratio. Old ratio, new ratio, then the sacrificing ratio. So X, Y, Z. Okay, so for X, what is the old ratio? 5 by 10. New ratio, 20 by 50. So converting this 10 into 50, we will get 25 divided to 50. Okay, 25 divided to 50. So 25 divided to 50 was the old share. New share is 20 divided to 50. So 5 by 50 is the sacrificing ratio. Okay, A, X part. Then Y, about Y, 3 by 10, 12 by 50. 3 by 10 means 15 by 50. Okay, so what is the sacrificing ratio? Old ratio 15 by 50, new ratio 12 by 50. So 3 by 50. Then about Z, 2 by 10. 2 by 10 means 10 by 50. Okay, and the new ratio 8 by 50. And what is the sacrificing ratio? 2 by 50. So what is the sacrificing ratio between X, Y and Z? 5 is to 3 is to 2. So there is a beautiful concept that we have arrived at. What was their old ratio? 5 is to 3 is to 2. What is their sacrificing ratio? The same 5 is to 3 is to 2. Which means that to analyze in a simple way, a shortcut method, if the share of profit, the nth share of profit of the new partner is given in the question and the sacrificing ratio of the existing partner is silent in the question. Once again, the nth share of the new partner is given in the question and the sacrificing ratio is silent in the question, then we can apply a shortcut method, that is the existing ratio of the existing partners before admission will equal to the sacrificing ratio after the admission of the new partners. Repeating once again, if the question specifies the nth share of the new partner and is silent about the sacrificing ratio of the existing partners, then the old ratio of the existing partners will be equal to the sacrificing ratio of the existing partners after admission. So this is the simplest formula for arriving at the new profit sharing ratio and also deriving the conclusion on the sacrificing ratio. Moving to the sixth illustration, the example 6. A, B, C. There are three existing partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2:1. That is 3/6, 2/6 and 1/6. They admitted D into the partnership for 1/6 share and the sacrificing ratio of existing partner are not given in the question. Compute the new profit sharing ratio. So like the previous problem, what we should analyze? We should analyze the sacrificing ratio. We should assume the total share of the all partners after admission as 1. Deduct the 1/6 share from the total share. The 1/6 share of the new partner from the total share. Then we will arrive at the combined share of A, B, C after admission of D as 5/6. Then how will you compute the new profit sharing ratio? Old ratio 3/6 into the combined ratio after admission 5/6. That is 15/36 for A. For B, 2/6 into 5/6, that is 10/36. Then for C, 1/6 into 5/6, that is 5/36. So this is the new profit sharing ratio in the case of A, B and C after the admission of D. Now to make it clear, the new profit sharing ratio of all the partners can be written as 15:10:5:2. This is for A, this is for B, this is for C, and for D it is already given in the question as 1/6. That means not to convert this 6 into 36, equalizing the denominator, multiply it with 6. So we will get 6/36. That is 6. So what is the new profit sharing ratio after admission of D? 15:10:5:6. Then we already studied what will be the sacrificing ratio. If the nth share of the new partner is given and the sacrificing ratio of the existing partner are not given, then sacrificing ratio will be equal to the old profit sharing ratio of the existing partner. So what is the old profit sharing ratio? 3:2:1. This is the old profit sharing ratio. This will be equal to the sacrificing ratio. But for examination purpose, you should give workings for the computation of the sacrificing ratio. This is only for the sake of understanding a shortcut method. Moving on to the example 7, seventh illustration. There are three partners, namely A, B and C, sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 4:3:2, which means 4/9, 3/9 and 2/9. And they admitted into the partnership Mr. D with 1/3 share. And you are required to compute the sacrificing ratio. See, this problem is quite similar to the previous two problems, example 5 and example 6, where we have learned that from the example 5 and 6 that if the nth share of the incoming partner is given in the question and the sacrificing ratio, the share sacrificed by the existing partner is not given in the question, then then the old ratio of the existing partner will be equal to the sacrificing ratio of the existing partner after the admission of the incoming partner. In that case, here the sacrificing ratio of A, B and C is as simple as 4:3:2. But for the sake of examination, this simple method is not enough. It is not at all enough, because you will not be gained any marks. For the sake of examination, what is required? Your working notes. So for that purpose, we should compute the sacrificing ratio the way it is required. Even though the question asks us to calculate the sacrificing ratio, for the purpose of it, we should calculate the new profit sharing ratio, because sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. This is the formula. So for the purpose of calculation of sacrificing ratio, we have to first calculate the new profit sharing ratio of A, B and C. So how we can do with this? Assume the total share of the whole partners after the admission of D as 1. Deduct from 1 the 1/3 share of Mr. D. So then we will get 2/3, which is the combined ratio of A, B and C. Then how will we arrive at the new ratio? Old ratio into combined ratio, that is the new ratio. Okay, then for A, what is the old ratio? 4/9 into what is the combined ratio? 2/3. Then we will get 8/27. For B, what is the old ratio? 3/9 into combined ratio 2/3. Then we will get 6/27. Then about C, his old ratio is 2/9 into 2/3 is equal to 4/27. Then about D, already given in the question, 1/3. When this 3 is converted into 27, then we will get 9/27, because 1 into 9, 9, 3 into 9, 27. So what is the new profit sharing ratio after admission of D? It is written as, it can be stated as 8:6:4:9. So this is the new profit sharing ratio of A, B, C and D after the admission of D. Then look into the sacrificing ratio. What is sacrificing ratio? Old ratio minus new ratio. What is the old ratio of A? 4/9. Okay, minus what is the new ratio of A? 8/27. So this 9 should be converted into 27. Okay, then we will get 12/27 minus 8/27. Then it will be 4/27. As in the case of B, what is in the case of B? In the case of B, what is the old ratio? 3/9. 3/9 means 9/27, because 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, 27. So 9/27 minus 6/27, that is the new ratio. Then we will get 3/27. Then about C, what is the ratio? Old ratio 2/9 means 6/27. 2 into 3, 6, 9 into 3, 27. So 6/27 minus, what is the new ratio? 4/27. Then 2/27. So see, what is the sacrificing ratio? 4/27, 3/27, 2/27. That is 4:3:2. So you should give the working notes for the calculation of sacrificing ratio, but in a simple way, it is as simple as 4:3:2, which is the existing profit sharing ratio of the existing partners. Our next discussion is on the computation of new profit sharing ratio in the case of retirement or death. What is retirement death? What is the impact of retirement and death? The result of retirement death is you are putting an end. You are putting an end to your involvement in the business. Therefore, if a partner retires or causes death to a partner, his involvement from the partnership business is taken away. He is going out of the business. Before moving to our topic, before moving to our discussion, I would like your attention to have on the impact in new profit sharing ratio in the case of admission and retirement. So before the analysis of illustrations, let's compare the impact in the new profit sharing ratio in the case of admission and retirement. A comparison in admission and retirement. We already discussed about the admission part. In admission, the existing partner sacrifices. The existing partner sacrifices his share in the future profit because a new partner, an incoming partner, a new partner is coming into the business. So the existing partners are sacrificing their share in the future profits, and the incoming partner is in an advantageous position. He is gaining something. Okay. While in the case of retirement, an existing partner is going out of the business, which means that his share in the future profit, is sacrificed, surrendered. To make it more elaborate or meaningful term, he surrendered his share to the existing partners. He surrenders his share to the existing partners. So, who is sacrificing here? The outgoing partner. The outgoing partner sacrifices his share in the future profit, and the existing partner's share is increased. So, who is in the advantageous position in the case of retirement? The existing partners. Their share in the future profit may increase or will increase. So this is all about the comparison of admission and retirement in the case of computation of new profit sharing ratio. In the case of admission, existing partner sacrifices. That's why we are calculating the sacrificing ratio. While in the case of retirement, the existing partner gains. So what used to be done in the case of retirement is computation of gaining ratio. Computation of gaining ratio. So this is all about the comparison. We will now discuss various illustrations for the computation of new profit sharing ratio in the case of retirement and death. Moving to the illustration 8 with regard to calculation of new profit sharing ratio in the case of retirement. Let us analyze the question. R, M, S are the partners of a business sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 1/5, 1/3, 7/15. And S retires from the partnership business. S retires from the partnership business and he gives 3/5 of his share of profit to R and 2/5 of his share of profit to M. So he surrenders 3/5 of his share of profit to R and 2/5 of his share of profit to M. So the question is asked to calculate the new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners. What we have studied in the theory part, in the case of retirement or death, the existing partners' share of profit will get increased. They gain something from the outgoing partner. Here in the question clearly says that what is given by the outgoing partner. So, first of all, as in the case of admission also, first of all, we have to calculate what is the gaining ratio. In the admission, we have pointed out the sacrificing ratio, but in the case of retirement, we should analyze before doing the question, before analyzing the contents in the question, whether the question specifies the gaining ratio. Of course, this question specifies the computation with regard to the gaining ratio. The question says 3/5 of 7/15. 7/15 is S share. 3/5 of 7/15 is given to R and 2/5 of 7/15 is given to M. So we can calculate what is received by R from S, what is received by M from S. Yes, so this is what is called as gaining ratio, which increases the existing partners' profit. So let us analyze how we can calculate the gaining ratio. See, first of all, before moving to the problem, solution of the problem, let us arrange this ratio in a meaningful order. See, 1/5, 1/3, 7/15. You should arrange in a meaningful order. Taking base as 15, convert the 5 and 3 into 15. Okay, so in order to convert 5 into 15, you should use the figure 3. In order to convert 3 into 15, you should use the figure 5. So, converting into a meaningful term, we will get 3 by 15, 5 by 15 and 7 by 15, which means that 3:5:7 is the ratio before retirement of yes. Okay, so let us move to the solution. How we can calculate the gaining ratio? How we can calculate the gaining ratio? See, R's old ratio, how much? 3 by 15. R's old ratio 3 by 15. Okay. Plus what is gained from yes, we will get the new ratio of R. This is the concept of computation of new profit sharing ratio. And again, M's old ratio is 5 by 15 plus increase. Okay, what is received from yes is equal to new ratio of M. Then what is received from yes, this part is called as gaining ratio. This part is called as gaining ratio. So let us compute the gaining ratio. How we can calculate the gaining ratio? Out of 7 by 15, okay, out of 7 by 15, 3/5 is received by whom? By Mr. R. So 7 by 15 into 3 by 5, we will get 21 by 75. We will get 21 by 75. Then out of 7 by 15, this is in the case of R and this is in the case of M. Out of 7 by 15, 2 by 5 is received by whom? M. Then we will get 14 by 75. So what is the gaining aspect? 21 by 75 and 14 by 75. When this is applied to the old ratio, we will get the new ratio of the existing partners after retirement. So let's move on to this. So R's new share is equal to R's old share plus what is received from yes, and M's new share is equal to M's old share plus what is received from yes. So let us calculate. What is R's old share? 3 by 15. R's old share is equal to 3 by 15 plus the receipt from yes. Receipt from yes is 21 by 75. So R's new share is equal to 3 by 15 plus 21 divided to 75. When calculating this, 3 by 15 should be converted, the denominator 15 should be converted into 75. Then we will get, okay, 15 divided to 75. 15 is multiplied into 5 to get 75. Therefore, 15 divided to 75 plus 21 divided to 75. Therefore, it is equal to 36 divided to 75. This is the new ratio of R. Then going to M's new share, old ratio 5 by 15. That means 5 by 15 is equal to converting into 75. We will get 25 by 75. Okay. So M's old share is 25 divided to 75 plus received from yes 14 divided to 75. Then we will get 39 divided to 75. So what is the new profit sharing ratio after yes retirement? 36 is to 39. For R 36, for M 39. So 36 is to 39 can be cut shorted into 12 is to 13. So this is the new profit sharing ratio of R and M. Continuing with the illustration 8, example 8. The following ingredients are available now. The new ratio of Mr. R 12 by 25, old ratio 3 by 15, new ratio of Mr. M 13 by 25, M 5 by 15, the old ratio of M 5 by 15. And also we have established that the gaining ratio is 21 by 75, 14 by 75. Okay, so these ingredients are available now. But let us analyze whether this gaining ratio is correct or not using another method. But this is not a part of your working note in the examination because gaining ratio is already available. We already computed. This is only for the sake of knowledge. How we can compute the gaining ratio another way. We already studied, we already learned gaining ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. New ratio minus old ratio. So both are available now. Since both are available now, we can compute the gaining ratio using this method. So what is the gaining ratio of R? R's old ratio is 12 by 25. Okay. R's new ratio is 3 by 50. R's new ratio is 3 by 50. But the problem is the denominators are not same. So for the purpose of comparison, you should keep the denominators as equal. So I am converting this 25 into 75 and converting this 15 into 75. So for that purpose, 25 should be multiplied with 3 and 15 should be multiplied with 5. So both the numerators and denominators of these figures should be multiplied with the equal number. So 12 by 25, 12 into 3, 36. Okay, minus 12 into 25, 75. So this is converted into another figure by using the figure 3 and minus that 3 by 15. This is converted into 15 into 5, 75. 3 into 5, 15. So 36 by 75 minus 15 by 75, we will get 21 by 75. So this part is correct. Okay. Then about M's gaining ratio. M's new ratio is 13 by 25 minus old ratio is 5 by 15. Again, to equalize the denominator, I will converting the denominators into 75. So 25 into 3, 75, 13 into 3. So 39 by 75 minus 15. To convert 15 into 75, 15 should be multiplied with 5. So 5 into 5, 25. 5 into 15, 75. Then we will get 39 minus 25, 14 by 75. This part are also correct. So in this way also we can calculate the gaining ratio, but this is not for your examination, should not be part of your working note because we already calculated what is the ratio of the ratio gained by the existing partners. So this is all about computation of profit sharing ratio and analysis of gaining ratio in the case of retirement. This concept is same in the case of death also, because what is happening in that one of the partners is going out of the business due to his death. So in the same way as in the case of retirement, the existing partners gains. The outgoing partner, the partner who causes to death, he sacrifices share and gives back to the existing partners. So this theory can also be applied in the case of death as well. I hope all of the students are well understood with regard to this concept. I have elaborated, explained in a comprehensive manner with regard to the calculation of new profit sharing ratio and with regard to the calculation of gaining ratio. So in the coming problems, we will learn how to compute through various aspects the computation of new profit sharing ratio in the case of retirement, death, and computation of gaining ratios. Moving to illustration 9, there are three partners in a firm, namely A, B and C, sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:5:4. That means 5 by 14, 5 by 14, 4 by 14 respectively by A, B and C. And B retires from the firm and gives half of his share of profit to A, half of his share of profit to C. So equal distribution of profit by B. Let us compute the gaining ratio and the new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners. So talking about the gaining ratio, how we will calculate the gaining ratio? B has contributed from his share of 5 by 14 half to A and half to C. So A is received from B How much? A's receipt from B, 5 by 14 into 1 by 2. That is 5 by 28. 5 by 28 is the receipt from B by A. Then about C. C is receipt from B. B's share is 4 by 14 and C has received one half from B. So what is C's receipt? Again 5 by 28. So this is the receipt of A and C from B, and in order to calculate the new profit sharing ratio is equal to old ratio plus receipt of share from B. So in the case of A, how we can calculate the new profit sharing ratio? In the case of A, old ratio is 5 by 14 and receipt from B is 5 by 28. You can convert this 14 into 28. How? 14 into 2 is equal to 28. So converting this denominator into 28, we will get 10 by 28 plus 5 by 28 is equal to 15 by 28. This is A's new share. Then talking about C's new profit sharing ratio. C's old ratio is 4 by 14. It can be converted, the 14 can be converted into 28, then we will get 8 by 28. So C's share 8 by 28, all share 8 by 28 plus C's receipt from B is 5 by 28. Then we will get 13 by 28. So what is the new profit sharing ratio? A's 15 by 28, C's 13 by 28. So 15 is to 13 is the new profit sharing ratio of A and C. Illustration 10 gives entirely a different picture with regard to the calculation of new profit sharing ratio. Let us analyze the example. A, B, C are three partners in a partnership firm sharing profits and losses 1 by 2, 2 by 5, 1 by 10. To put into a meaningful way, taking 10 as the base, 1 by 2 can be converted into 5 by 10, 2 by 5 can be converted into 4 by 10, then 1 by 10. So currently they are sharing the profits and losses in the ratio of 5 is to 4 is to 1. Then C retires. You are required to compute the gaining ratio and the new profit sharing ratio. You are required to compute the gaining ratio and the new profit sharing ratio. See, what is the difference between this problem and the previous illustration? Illustration 9. In the previous illustration or previous analysis, even illustration 8, in the question itself it says the portion given by the retiring partner to the existing partners. How much portion is distributed to the existing partners by the retiring partner. But in this question, this part is silent. The question only says C retires. So in that case, this is a simple problem to calculate the new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners. You have to just delete the share of profit portion of the retiring partner and keep or continue with the same profit portion of the existing partner as new profit sharing ratio. So once again, if the part of share distributed by the retiring partner to the existing partner is silent in the question, then what should we do? Just delete the part of share of the retiring partner, and the existing partners, existing profit sharing ratio can be taken as such as the new profit sharing ratio of the partnership firm after the retirement. So what is the new profit sharing ratio here? 5 is to 4. 5 is to 4. Okay, this is the new profit sharing ratio of A and B after the retirement of C. That is why I told this illustration gives a different picture in the computation of new profit sharing ratio in the case of retirement. From this, we can easily calculate what is the gaining ratio. How we can calculate? Gaining ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. Both ingredients are available now. So, A's gaining ratio. A's new ratio is 5 by 9. 5:4, out of which 5 by 9 is A's share, minus A's old ratio is 5 by 10. A's old ratio is 5 by 10. So how we can calculate this? There are different methods. We can multiply 9 with 10. We can multiply 10 with 9 to equalize the denominator. So 5 by 9 multiplied by using 10. So 50 by 90 minus 5 by 10 is multiplied by using 9. So 45 by 90. Then we will get 5 by 90. And B's share of gaining ratio. How much? B's new ratio is 4 by 9. Okay, 4 by 9 means we can convert it as 40 by 90. Then old ratio is 4 by 10. We can convert it as 36 by 90, because 4 into 9 36, 4 into 10 90. Then we will get 4 by 90. Then the gaining ratio is 5:4. So what I am going to conclude is, if the share of distribution by the outgoing partner is not given in the question, then the existing partner's part of share before retirement can be taken as such as the new profit sharing ratio of the existing partners. In that case, the new profit sharing will be equal to the gaining ratio as well. In the illustration we have seen 5:4 is the new profit sharing ratio, and the gaining ratio is also 5:4. So to conclude, what? If the retiring partner's share of distribution of profit to the existing partners is not given in the question, just cross out the retiring partner share of profit and continue with the existing partner share of profit as new profit sharing ratio, and the new profit sharing ratio will be equal to the gaining ratio of the existing partners. So students, now let's have a formal conclusion with regard to our discussion on the computation of new profit sharing ratio. We have covered all the aspects of computation of new profit sharing ratio, sacrificing ratio, gaining ratio. We have discussed in detail. So for the purpose of examination, I have summarized what we have discussed through our lessons. Okay. So in the case of admission, students, please remember the term sacrificing ratio. In the case of retirement or death, remember the term gaining ratio. And while computing the new profit sharing ratio, sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio, we should analyze, in the case of admission, whether the sacrificing ratio is given or not. If the sacrificing ratio is given, then the new profit sharing ratio is old ratio minus the sacrificing ratio. And if the sacrificing ratio is not given in the question, then there is a formal procedure. Take the whole share of all the partners after admission as one, deduct the incoming partner share from the total of 1, then we will arrive at the combined share of the existing partners after the admission. Then the new profit sharing ratio will be equal to old ratio multiplied by the combined share between the existing partners. New profit sharing ratio is equal to old ratio into the combined ratio of the existing partners. In such a situation, the sacrificing ratio, which is not given in the question, will be equal to the new profit sharing ratio. Remember, in such situation, the sacrificing ratio, which is not given in the question, which is not explained in the question, will be equal to the new profit sharing ratio. And moving on to the retirement, the gaining ratio, if the gaining ratio is not given in the question, gaining ratio is given in the question, the new profit sharing ratio will be old ratio plus the share received from the outgoing partner, that is the gaining ratio. So new profit sharing ratio will be old ratio plus the gaining ratio. And if the gaining ratio is not given in the question, then just cut out, cross out, delete the outgoing partner share, continue with the existing partner share profit and take as such as the new profit sharing ratio after the retirement of the outgoing partner. And remember one thing, in such case, the new profit sharing ratio will be equal to the gaining ratio, or the gaining ratio will be equal to the new profit sharing ratio. So these points should be studied well, remembered well, then only we can work out the problems with regard to the computation of new profit sharing ratio, because this part is inevitable for doing the problems, illustrations, in the case of admissions, retirement, death, etc. If there is any mistake in the computation of the new profit sharing ratio, the entire problem will go wrong. It will affect your marks in the examination. So remember, this is the fundamental aspect in performing the problems of admission, retirement and death. To conclude, there is also another theory to be studied well, which is known as valuation of goodwill. That is a separate area to be covered before moving to the problems of admission, retirement, death, etc. So the valuation, with regard to the valuation of goodwill, we will deal it in the next class. So thank you so much.